So the great news is Orkney became league champions. We'll show you the tables in a minute, and we'll also show you what did the players do that season and the schedule. So we are league champions, but as the database was created, we do not get promoted in the first season. That will happen now in season two, and I just checked the schedule and the rule structure of season two, and we certainly do go into a promotional playoff if we finish top. That's a big if we finish top, because we had to change our side literally a lot for season two because we needed to reduce the finance wage budget, and also I wanted to bring in some stronger players into the side to give us a serious more better chance. We did do very well in season one though. We finished top of the table. If I just show you some of the screens here, so if you just bear with me for a second, just got to make sure you're seeing the right screen. And here we go, just making sure, yeah, it's that screen there, there it is. And I'll flick over so you can see what I'm looking at. So modern technology these days. So I'm just looking down onto what you're seeing at the moment, just to tie in that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, there we go. So obviously, when we're doing the stream, you're always 15 seconds behind me. So this was the league table after the 24 games of the season that finished. There's obviously we play each side twice, and out of that we had 19 wins, 4 draw and 1 defeat, a goal difference of plus 52, which was amazing, 73 goals scored, 21 against. We had the best defence, the best attack. We finished top of the table. Thanks mainly to Gospree, well, thanks doing well, obviously, but thanks mainly to Gospree faltering as the season went on. They were top of the table uh, for a little while, and then we suddenly had a richer form. And you can see Gospree only hold on to second place by 1 point over St Duffus. St Duffus were the side that started to improve more. As Gospree got worse, St Duffus actually got better. And then the pre-season favourites, Narim A, which is Narim's reserve side, who are in this league, who are the only side, by the way, that can never be promoted. They were the pre-season favourites, and they only finished fourth, and that was by goal difference. As you can see there, there's quite a big difference in goal difference between all the sides. We had plus 52, Goldsbury plus 20, St Duffus plus 26, and Nareen plus 5. And then, with the exception of Forest Verso, who had plus 1, all the other sides had minus goal differences, and that ranged from minus 20 to Scary and Boric. So it was good. We can see where the goals were going in. The goals were going in for Orkney and Goldsbury with 73 goals, 59 goals, and the goals conceded was, to be fair, not many of the sides really had really bad conceded that many goals. The most was only 46, which, if you think about 24 league games and 46 goals, isn't too bad. Still, they Baldry still finished bottom, but this is what the players' stats looked like after the season. There's no way I can find out on Football Manager how to actually see these seasons on actual game, but so luckily I took some screenshots as the season ended, and you can see what actually happened. So this is in how many goals scored, and you can see that Stout was our top goal scorer, 32 goals and 10 assists, with an average rating of 7.4, which is amazing, really good average rating. Delde finished second on 25 goals. Gracie, our midfield right, one of our new signings, scored 9 goals. Ma, our other new signing on the left, he scored 8. And then Chris Hemingway, or Chris H as we called him, 3 appearances, 5 goals. And then Rendell, probably our best defender, Owen Rendell, 26 appearances, 5 goals, 4 assists. We also, good reason of having this screenshot printed shown to you guys is also to see what actually happened to these players that left, because when you compare this sheet to the current squad, what they look like before season 2 starts, there's noticeably many changes, and most of the changes are like, quite a few players have left. Chris H has left, went on the free. I think Chris Simpson has left as well. A couple of players who were going to leave, I thought we were going to get deals for other clubs, but they eventually just got free transferred, because I basically went on holiday mode from May to July to save some time. and let the game go, quickly do its own thing. Um, and yeah, they did not pick up any clubs, and so sadly they're mostly on free transfers. But we will go and have a look at them in a minute to see if they have actually picked up any clubs. But here we go. You can see that Stout had an amazing season. He also had 10 assists. Gracie had the most assists, 17 assists on midfield right. Ma had 5 assists, so both our midfield left and right chopped in with some assists. But you can see that it was all mostly a team performance on assists there. Nearly all the players, right from Irvine right up to Stout, contributed to some goals, and even Simpson, who left, had 4 assists, which was decent. But there was another reason why some players had to leave because of the star ratings. I had to bring some new players in. I had to reduce the wage bill, and the only way of reducing the wage bill is saying goodbye to players. Um, you can see there, Stout, if it wasn't for his goal scoring ability and stuff like that and assists, he would have probably been going also because he's only got 2-star ability and 2-star potential. And the further we go up the leagues, these star ratings will compare to what you are in the league. So for instance, if we went up to which would be the Highland League, all these ratings, not just Stouts, all these ratings will get a little bit of a knock because you're comparing it to the other sides in the league, and also you're comparing it to our youth facilities and our coaching facilities, which here at Orkney is still very low. But you can see potentially we got in our current league, which is the North Cali League, we got potentially a lot of really good players here who should do really well if we stayed in this league. Del Day is definitely one for the future. He's only 22 years old, 4 stars. We've got Baber, one of our newer signs from season 1. He's on 4 stars. You can see we've got potentially quite a lot of really decent players, and we've got some backbone of players to stay for a good another 2 seasons at least, unless of course we go up the leagues and our plans may change. Um, but this is what's the stats then. You can look at yourself of who's did well and stuff like that. So Gracie was our top assist, as I said before. Stout was our top goal scorer. Average ratings, Stout was top of average ratings. Anything over 7.0 gets green, which means very good. So he was our top average rater as well. So no wonder he was the player of the season. But fair play to Del Day. He was a very good backup striker, and also, well, not backup striker, he was number 2 striker, sorry. He was a backup midfield right as well, and he did play some games like that. But fair play, I think, also to Owen Rendell. He turned into be our superstar, which I didn't really thought he would be one. He was our star defender. He actually did better than Neto, who was meant to be our star defender. If you look at the average ratings here, Rendell had 26 appearances, 2 subs, 5 goals, 4 assists. Well, Neto still did really well, but his average rating was 6.83. But he had 34 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists. So fair play to Owen Rendell. He did much better than his defensive partner Neto. Goals, we had goalies. We had some really good goalies there. We really had 3 really good goalies. McConaughey was our main goalie for most of the season. 6.95 average rating, which is just below the 7, magical 7, so he did really well. 25 appearances, 3 assists even. But we had 2 youngsters coming in. Ryan Kidd was brought in, and he played most of the final games. His average rating is 6.99. So he was going to turn into our number 1 goalie. But we have to look out for this bloke, Connor McCaskill. He's only 16, 17 years old, youth goalie, and he is definitely one for the future. Since then, of course, we've had our new batch of youngsters coming into Orkney. None really outstanding. My main aim is hopefully when we do these Twitch streams, when we do them, is that when people regularly come in and see players, they might be named after youth players, which will be quite fun, I think, for everyone. We'll now go back to the main screen and we'll look at what's happening right now. So I'll just make sure I'm looking at the right screen. Yeah, Twitch stream, there you go. So this is what the squad looks like right now. The date is the 16th of July 2021. You may notice if you haven't seen this, this is a pretty new skin. I like this skin for many reasons. This is what the current squad looks like, and you can see with the wanted icon there that many players are being wanted by many teams. So we are a wanted team now because we are the North Cali current champions. You can see there that some of these players that you've seen on the previous screen are still here, well, quite a few of them, but there's quite a few new faces you probably don't recognise. Um, we'll go through the current squad as it is at the moment. So we've got Kidd, the goalie, Ryan Kidd, who's literally going to be our new, well, he was here last season, but he's going to turn into our number one goalie. Right back is Neto, who also plays centre back. Him and Stephen Helliwell swap places more. Stephen Helliwell, or as he was called in season one, Stephen H. His brother's not here anymore, so we can revert back him to what he was, should be called. He's really our right back, so really Helliwell and Neto should really be swapped around a bit. Dylan Brown was a recent signing. He's coming in and he will feature more as a centre back. But Owen Rendell should really be there. There we go, Owen Rendell. Baber, Gracie, Forbister, our top youth from the vanilla version of the game. When we first got this game, he was our top youth player, and he's still there, and he will still do very well. He had 27 appearances last season. He'll probably do a lot more. Then Irvine, he really isn't that happy with us. He wants to leave because of lack of appearances. He's getting a bit big for his boots, basically. But he did play 16 games, one goal. Then Ma, Dalday, Irvine. Irvine's one of our new strikers. You can see there where Stouty. Stouty is on the bench now because Irvine has been brought in, and Irvine is actually a much better player than Stout. His current ability is very good. His potential abilities is superb. He's 26 years old, slightly older than Stout, but Stout will be used um, a lot of the time, so don't worry, he will be around. And then we got Swanee, our defensive bencher, I suppose you call him. Colin McCann, our youth player, one of our youth players. New youth players have come in. There he is. He's got his face there, and he's one of our better youth players. He's decent rating already, which is really good for a 17-year-old, and his potential ability is superb. So he'll definitely be playing quite a few games. And then we got Bamba. Bamba, who was in the free striker race last season. Bamba lost, I'm afraid. He scored all his goals in cup games, hence why you only see 8 appearances, no goals. He actually scored more than that. He actually scored quite a few goals. But Bamba is one of those players who actually wants to leave because he thought he's not getting in many appearances. So we're going to say yes, you can go. So he's actually been transfer listed. Michael Robertson is a new player brought in from Vale of Leflin on a free, I think it was. Yes, it was a free. So he is going to be a very good backup defensive midfielder. You can see he can play central defence, defensive midfielder, and midfield. There's Stouty, there's Dylan Brown. Callan Gray is another new player brought in from Port Glasgow for free. He is again another backup defensive midfielder. Defence, even though not very good, but he's mostly a midfielder. So when I brought players in, I wanted to bring them to play various positions, and he's definitely one of them. Colin Randall is still around. He is a very good bench player again. 60 appearances totally for Orkney. He can look after the right side of the field, defensive right, wing back right, and midfield right. So that's really cool. And then Jessamine, like Forbister last year, was one of our vanilla youth players, and he's still with us, even though his stats are going down a bit there. He will. Oh, he wasn't a youth player actually. He was brought from being a youth player from Carnoustie, I think they're called, midfield centre. He might not be playing so many games this season because of new players coming in. So I won't be too surprised if he either goes off on. Oh, that's it. No, sorry. Yeah, he was a youth player. He went on Carnoustie on loan for 16 games. If I just check the stats. Yeah, he went on loan, so he is a Orkney youth player. So he might be going back off on loan again. He's loan listed, so hopefully a couple of clubs might come in and he might get more games to be played. And then Craig Gill. Craig Gill is a new player, midfield right, because we had not with Gracie and Irvine occasionally not getting injured quite often. We needed someone new to come in to back them up, and Craig Gill has come in from Whitehall Welfare, and he's actually got a bit of a reputation as well. Fairly good, fairly good. That might seem very low for many of you, but that's actually very good for us. Current ability 3, potential ability star player, and he's only 22 years old, so he could progress very nicely. But if you look in the transfers, we'll look at the transfers to show you what actually happened currently and what's happening also last season. As you can see, we brought in quite a few new players already, and as pre-season is going to start, the first person is these are mostly 16, 17-year-olds though. Ian Woolley from Arnadale. His, I'm looking at potential ability and not really looking at current ability because these players will not be playing in the first team for quite a while yet. So he's our midfield left cover basically. His potential ability is actually star player. The stats is nothing special to look at, to be honest with you. He's got great flair, technique, so he's hopefully when his stats will go up, and I hope they do go up, he's going to turn into a very flair technique. He's very pacey, and hopefully some of these stats. His crossing is crap at the moment. Midfield, attacking midfielder left, a crossing of 1 is shit, basically. But he's only 16 years old, and that will go up. Great, Gary Walker from Lochlar Thistle. He's again only 16 years old, 5'10", defensive left cover. Again, good potential ability, very good to excellent. His stats are nothing special, I'm afraid. His decisions and determination are good. He's got very fast acceleration and natural fitness. I hope his pace will go up as well because he's going to be running down the left-hand side of the field. But this won't happen for this season. Again, he's only 16, 17 years old. He might go probably off on loan very soon. Brian Ross is the next player. Brian Ross is our striker, our young striker. Again, ignore the current ability and reputation because they won't be very good. But his potential ability again is star player. He's got a first touch of 6. His finishing is only 3 at the moment for a striker. That's not great. He's got good pace, good jumping reach, good acceleration. He's got a bit of aggression, which is not always a bad thing. And hopefully these stats will go up. But again, we've been at Orkney, our youth facilities are pretty low, so I'm not expecting these to go really high up unless we get more money coming in, our youth facilities come in. Callum Gray we've already looked at, Michael Robson we've looked at, Irvine and Gill we've both looked at. So that was last season. So let's go back a season. I'll show you what actually happened in the season before, if I remember how to do that. There you go, sorry. So you can see these are all the transfers that happened last season, season 1. So this includes Mar, Gracie, Baber, Nato, Bamba, all the players we've talked about already. Henderson was coming on loan. Henderson came on loan. The manager at Montreux said, why aren't you playing in the position? I came back saying, well, we're playing him every game. And he still didn't accept that, and so he left. So we had midfield left problems for quite a while, but we managed to solve that by playing, I think, Irvine out of position for a little while. And there's Genova. And now the players that have left. Let's look back at all the players that have left us. And these are, I'm guessing, real Orkney players. So Joe Tate was the first person who left on 29th of July 2020. He went off to Brockty Athletic. So how did he get on at Brockty? Oh dear. Ah. Born in 1989, so he's only 10, 20, he's only 31 years old, but he's already retired. So he made 26 appearances for Brockty Athletic, but that was it. Looks like he just decided he had enough, and now he is a scout and he's unemployed. Interesting. He could come back and help us out. Craig Gillian at Banks OD. Where are you? He's still a player. He's 32 years old. He played 34 games for Banks OD, so he's doing really well there actually. So it's good to see him actually doing pretty nicely. Graham Hone at Taypoint. Gray Hone is another player. Oh yes, he was 32, 33 I think when he left us. So he has now become the reserves manager at Loch Ness, a team that's in our division. Liam Valentine, he went over to Hillfield Swifts, who actually bought another player of ours. Valentine, 30 years old, he's still at Hillfield Swifts, but he hasn't played a single game for them. Oh dear. Hamish Fleet at Hillside Swifts. He's played better. He's had 12 appearances with them, but only 1 goal. But he's still playing for them at 28 years old. Joe Wilson. Joe Wilson's a name we've seen quite often. Our scouts actually say that we should buy him back. But you can see why it might be a good idea because he can play as midfield left, midfield right, natural on both sides actually. Right-footed though. He's had 34 appearances for Carnoustie. Probably Carnoustel, probably pronounced them wrong. But his stats are not amazing for midfield left. Like his crossing's only 5. I need someone a little bit better than that. But he seems to be doing all right there. Zach's in at Keller Rovers. Keller Rovers bought 2 of our players as well. He went over to Keller Rovers, didn't stay there for long. 15 appearances, 6 goals. He now's gone over to Coulter on a free transfer. Coulter, I don't know. Where are you, Coulter? Oops, have I gone to the wrong screen? No, there we go. Back here again. Where are you, Coulter? I don't recognise your name. Coulter, there you go. So professional, 1893. I do like these. That's actually could be the actual ground. There, that's really nice. That one thing I need to do. Let's just go to club info. Does it show our ground? No. Hey Orkney, if you're watching this, send me a picture of your ground. It's a nice screen though. So Zach, he's over at Coulter now. 15.6 goals for Callow. So good luck there. Scott Driver, we're now into January 2021. Scott Driver has gone over to Keller Rovers as well. 13 appearances, 2 goals. He's still there, so he's actually scored 2 goals for them, and he's played one competitive game already, so he should be there for quite a while. DJ Muffet over to Cambusane Rangers, and he's played 10 games, 1 goals with them, so he seems to be doing okay there. Wayne Kirkness. Wayne finally left and went to Wishaw. But he was originally at Blainton Vicks for 16 appearances and 0 goals. They went to Wishaw for free transfer and played 4 non-competitive games. So you'll think he'll play quite regularly at Wishaw already. And that is it. So you notice there's a couple of players that have went on free transfers. So what we have to do, we'll have to actually type their name in. Chris Simpson's one of them. Chris, who I regularly chat to on Twitter, actually. Chris is a free transfer at the moment. He did play 94 appearances, 16 goals for Orkney, but I had to bring in other players, I'm afraid. He's still a free transfer at the moment. No side has gone in for him. So I won't be too surprised if he went for a managerial job there. Next player is what we call Chris H, but it's not called Chris H on this, obviously. So we have to put his full name in. There you go. That's okay. Chris Hell, but that's the start of his surname. So we can put there, and then we can remove nickname. There you go, Chris Halliwell. 95 appearances, 46 goals, prolific goal scorer. But because we had Stout, Dowdy, Bamba, now Irving, he really had no choice. That's a slight lie there. 4 appearances, no goals. That does not include the cup campaign. This is just league appearances, remember. His cup campaign was actually much better. He actually did score quite a few goals in cup competitions. And let's just, I need to see other players that we might have missed. So I'm looking at a different screen at the moment. Aiden Driver, is he there? Is he with us still? Aiden Driver, I think you're still with us, Aiden. No, he's not. He's not in my screen. Ooh. Let's go back and see where he is then. Oh yeah, he went on the free. That's it. He did go on the free, and there you go. He still is a free agent. So the Aiden Driver, he's actually got a bid, so it looks like he will be going. So that will play. Oh my God, he's got quite a few bids. So you're guaranteeing, say, 4 or 5 weeks' time that Aiden will be playing for someone. He should do. He's got some really good stats there. Some physical stats are really impressive. So if we go back in, say, 4 or 5 weeks' time, I'm sure we'll see Driver at a club. So there you go. That is the what it looks like at the moment. So we look at finances. One thing that happened during pre-season, we got taken over by a new chairman. We've got a new chairman at the club, and he gave us a whopping £2,000. So, woo, we're rich. Um, and we've got a new assistant manager. You remember when you were looking at previous videos of Orkney that we were struggling to get a scout and an assistant manager. No one would apply for us. Well, we finally did get an assistant manager. He isn't the best. I hope he's not listening to this. He's not the best, but he is pretty. At least he's got him. Sean Kerr is our new assistant manager. The stats are not amazing, but at least we've got someone who can recommend things for me to say now instead of me just guessing. Sean, born in Birkenhead, so he's English. Um, Kerr made 263 appearances, 144 goals. Oh, okay, so he had a playing career of 2002 to 2019. So he played at Ross. He played at all Scottish clubs, which is really good. And all these sides are the sides that we've been playing against, with the exception of the last two here. Ross County, which of course are a league side. But yeah, he was mostly at Ivor Gordon. I'm guessing he was temporary manager a while. That's why some of these breaks are there. So that's really cool. We've got a month-to-month contract with the head of youth department, Alan Nicol. So I need to actually offer him a new contract because he's got a rating of 20 for working with youngsters, which is good. So we should really keep him. Let's look at our other medical team. We've got a part-time head physio, Dylan Connor. That's all we can afford. It's just one physio. Scouting team, we've got no scouts and we're still looking for scouts. So one thing we need to do is do this now because I sent the advert out and as it always seems to be here in Orkney, no one wants the job. So we're going to do a bit of live searching for a staff role, recruiting, scout, employed, no. Okay, it's still there, still people interested at the moment. World reputation, any world reputation, click OK. So we got these people, potentially 11 people who might want to join us. Highly unlikely any will join us. So we'll click on Martin Bain, 5 and a 3. Calvert's a 4 and a 4. Craig Dowie's a 10 and a 10. Straight away, he's the favourite. Mike Forsyth, 4 and a 3. Alan Fraser, 3 and a 6. Ben McCaskey, 3 and a 3. Scott Sinclair, who's a player, 33 years old. Can you have a player scout? I don't know, to be honest. But it's Craig Dowie who's the favourite, so let's see if he wants to join us. Oh yes, that's really good actually. A 10-10 scout wants to join us, so that's our scouting problem sorted out. Overview, how many scouts? We're allowed 2. Oh, okay. So let's bring in someone else in then. We haven't got really much choice though. 5-3, I think that's the next best. And he's on £6 a week. £6 a week, part time as well. Wow. So that could solve our scouting problems. Let's look at the physio. We need to get one physio in. So let's do a staff search for physios. Normally I'll let the advert do this, but we're getting no luck with the advert at the moment. None. None whatsoever. No physios at all. That's a shame. Yeah, no physios at all want to join us. Okay, we can't do anything there. 66 actually, 66 people are interested in us for various jobs, not just but you can see there on this list that none of them are physios. Like I do not know why we need a performance analyst and a sports scientist at Orkney. It's not needed. So we look at our schedule then. Our schedule, we're playing, this is last season, first. Actually, this is how the last season turned up. You can see there, generally we did really well. We lost one, we managed to get to the final in one cup, the North of Scotland Cup final, but we lost to Broa, who are much higher in the league, by a penalty shootout after drawing 0-0 against them. We were at home though, we were at Orkney's home ground, 641 people came to watch, which was our highest attended game. We click on the attendance figures. Highest attended, oh, these are the lowest. We'll do that in a minute. The cup final obviously was the highest, then Gosby in March. You can see there by the months that more and more people started to come in later on in the months. But we averaged around 100 people. The lowest games were, I think, the friendlies. Yes, they were. 17 people went on one game. Just 17 people. If we look at the club, when it lets us, club info, there's this club, the new club info screen from the skin. The main reason I got this skin, because when you see a match, you actually see the full team names, not the abbreviations you get in the vanilla Football Manager. Club vision, this is what obviously the board are really happy with last season because we are the champions. They still want us to remain in the top half, which hopefully we will do. They're not going to judge us at all in the 4 cup competitions, which is really good, which means I can experiment and do various things. And then for the various seasons, they just want us to remain in the top half. Obviously, we're trying to get promoted, but the structure is different this season too. If we finish top of the table, we do a promotional playoff. If we look at the finances, we are actually got money in the bank, a whopping 5k. Well, our wage bill is high though, so expect maybe 1 or 2 more players will leave us because we brought in a couple of new players. And finally, the formation. The formation is a 4-4-2 that I did get off the net, but I've made a couple of changes myself, hence why I changed the name. I made some subtle little changes within here because I didn't like quite a bit of the formation that I brought in gave me. So we go back to current season. And there you go. There is what's currently going to happen. Oh, it's not done in date order. There you go. That's better. Looks a bit all over the place there. So we've arranged some friendlies, mostly against fellow teams in the Orkneys. So Kirkwell is being mentioned, Kirknell Hotspurs, Cotnet Tomford, Kirknell Rovers. All these are amateur sides. Then our yearly friendly against Shetland. Then Rendell, John the Great's Wick Academy, and then that team I can't even pronounce. And then the league starts in September. So the next kind of recording you'll see is when we will be just starting the season. The game does go really fast, to be fair. We actually got Kirkwell Hotspurs next. Oh, well, let's show you a game because that's actually tomorrow. So we're getting all these bids for players, and most of the time these clubs are coming for our players are offering nothing. They want these players for free. So they're not getting them, basically. So this is one little fault of this skin. It doesn't highlight these 2 boxes of store and reject very well. You probably can't see that actually on your screen because of my overlay. So if you just bear with me for a second, I'll show you what I mean. If I just hide that for a second. There we go. So if you look on the bottom right hand corner there, you can see accept, suggest, stall offer, reject offer. You can see that these 2 buttons have not been properly done in the skin. This is the only bit of the skin that's gone wrong. And the stall and the reject button, I always play reject all the time because for obvious reasons. So yeah, we're going to reject him. Put that back because they just want us to play for free, and Neto is one of our best defenders. So goodbye. Now there is a risk that some of these players might get unhappy, but they should not get unhappy with sides that are in our league still, same league. But obviously, if I get a bid from Ross County or any player in League Two, any side in League Two, then I might have to accept it because they'll think, why am I not going up into playing league football? Oh, we got a new signing, a fullback. I forgot we got some new signings coming in, and he's an important player as well. So this is actually going to be really good for us. So our wage bill is going to go even further up. Let's see how do the board like him or not. B minus. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad actually. Handshake. 3-star, star player. He will play midfield left. So is he better than our midfield left currently, which is Baber? Oh, crikey, Baber. So we've got Baber and Macaulay both on the left-hand side. So that is good actually. That's means that we're going to be really pretty strong. Just realised Colin McCann should really be loan listed because he's not going to play many games for us at the moment, and I don't want him be unhappy. Training again. I don't do training streams. I don't do training responsibilities in the game at all. I know some players love it. I don't. Oh, straight away, Colin McCann has got 2 loanee offers, so I'll definitely accept both of them. How are they paying their wages? Yeah, they're paying all the wages. It's only 20 quid a week, God's sake. And we got another new signing. Oh, this is the chief scout, Malcolm. Cool. Another non-negotiable offer for free. Why do they think I'm going to accept free? God's sake. I will look at other teams and do a bit of raiding of them as well to try get some star players for free. Okay, cool. I don't do press conferences for players unless they're really good. So I'll show you this game. And I might play some of the new players as well. I wonder, actually, there's a new formation I just found that I want to try out. So I think we're going to try this out now. So I've got to remember it's a nap formation, but I think this nap formation is better than these newer nap formations. But I've got to remember what it's called. Kung Fu. Is it called Kung Fu? I don't know if it's called Kung Fu. It might be called something else. I need to go into my tactics section and let's have a look. It's to do with dates, isn't it? So yeah, it's called Kung Fu. And Parisian Walkways is the other one. Okay, so they're the 2 new formations I want to look at. So Kung Fu, Kung Fu, Kung Fu, Kung Fu. So 4-4-2. So nothing's changed there. I just want to see if it does better than my 4-4-2. Sidewise, this is the side. Is it Hotspurs? We beat 11-1 last season, and then we played them again, and we only beat them 2-0. So they kind of got their revenge a little bit. So let's. I can put McCann. McCann goes into the final sub place. Yeah, let's see. Let's keep the side as it is. This is potentially the first team. You can see defensive right. We're not amazing here, but you've got to remember this is a non-league side, so these will never be really amazing. So let's play Kirknall, home game, and here in the friendly. And you can see